Welcome back everyone to the People's University. Now in the last video I had mentioned the next lesson would be about property. Why property? Because government's main responsibility is to protect our property. Now as we learn the rights that are found in the bills and declarations of rights across the 50 states, it's always helpful to break it down in the most simplistic form. Find out what the words mean. So let's go ahead and find out what property means and what it applies to. Property, that which is peculiar or proper to any person, that which belongs exclusively to one. In the strict legal sense, an aggregate of rights which are guaranteed and protected by the government. More specifically, ownership, the unrestricted and exclusive right to a thing, the right to dispose of a thing in every legal way, to possess it, to use it, and to exclude everyone else from interfering with it. The exclusive right of possessing, enjoying, and disposing of a thing, the highest right a man can have to anything, being used to refer to the right which one has to lands or tenements, goods or chattels which no way depends on another man's courtesy. And finally, the term includes not only ownership and possession, but also the right of use and enjoyment for lawful purposes. So if property is anything we own and possess, and we have a right to the enjoyment of that property, what will we consider property? Well, that would be our home, our cars, our furniture, jewelry, tools, guns, money, my body, my children. All of it can be put into a bucket and it's considered property. Now let's look to see where in the Constitution it says we have a right to property. Virginia Constitution, Article 1, Section 1, that all men are by nature equally free and independent and have certain inherent rights, of which, when they enter into a state of society, they cannot, by any compact, deprive or divest their posterity, namely the enjoyment of life and liberty with the means of acquiring and possessing property and pursuing and obtaining happiness and safety. Georgia Constitution, Article 1. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property except by the due process of law. Paragraph 2. Protection to person and property is the paramount duty of government and shall be impartial and complete. No person shall be denied the equal protection of the laws. There's so much knowledge in those two short paragraphs, but I will focus on property and due process. Now, we already explained what's considered property, but the second part to it is that your property cannot be taken or removed from you without due process. Now, what does that mean? That means that only a jury of your peers in a court of record can take or remove property from you. Now, I won't focus on that yet, but I want to make sure that you understood that your property cannot be taken by banks, by government, or third parties without a trial by jury. Let's see what the fundamental principles of law say in regards to property. Maxims of Law 51p. The main object of government is the protection and preservation of personal rights, private property, and public liberties, and of upholding the law of God. This means government should be protecting your property when anyone like a bank is trying to take your property. 77f. No free man shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property, but by the lawful judgment of his peers, or by the law of the land, that is the common law. This means if someone's trying to take your property from you, they can only do it if there's a trial by jury, a jury of your peers who make the decision to remove that property from you. If they're trying to do that without a trial by jury, that's not lawful. 91z. That which is mine cannot be lost, transferred to another, or taken away without my own act, consent, or forfeiture. In other words, if I own the property and possess the property, only I can make the decision to transfer it to someone or to allow for it to be taken. But nobody can take it without my consent. Well, I told you this one was going to be a good one, so I hope you liked it. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.